Last time on Square Roots, Bayonetta saves the cat, by which I mean a fake stuffed animal named Cheshire. Also, tentacles! And welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Woo! We did it, baby. We finished Bayonetta. I don't ever have to think about this piece of shit again.
And John Baldur Brandon.
No, I'm Baldist.
No, he's Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's gay.
Horror, Baldur's gay.
and this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time. And as Matt said, we're finishing Bayonetta.
Neither an RPG nor anybody's favorite on Earth. Guys, we've really gotten away from, the purpose of this podcast. So I say, starting next week, we got to get back in to what we started this show to do. Classic RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 10 years old or older.
10 years old. Well, I mean, sort of. Ish.
It's an adaptation of a game that's
25
older
years old. Or 20, more than 25, right? I can't do math right now. Don't ask me to do math.
Jim was so
Did
excited
it come out in
about
97?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and he's been playing it now for a few weeks, and he seems like exhausted and tired of it.
I gotta say, after you do a few of those big areas, it's just like, I have to do this again in a new area, and now there's a different kind of chocobo. It's kind of frustrating. But it's really fun to play.
I opened up Genius Lyrics because I want to do a joke about Left Eye Lopez later in the show. You know Left Eye, right?
Okay. Yeah.
There's currently a Shen Yun ad, and it looked like Bayonetta footage for a second.
That's amazing. Well, guys, before we get into our sweet, good, super positive Bayonetta talk, does anybody have any hot gaming news to share with the group?
Boy, I did have something that I meant to share, and now I've forgotten what it is. So if you want to vamp for a minute, I'll see if I can figure out what it was.
Vamp. We're not good at vamping today.
No, we're kind of ill-prepared all around.
I just wanted to get Rock Band and my Rock Band guitars and go to a cabin with my friends in my dream. And it just turned into the most impossible task. Trying to get my games and the guitars and everything. Everything was difficult about it. And I couldn't get it done, and it was taking forever, and all my friends were waiting in the car.
I don't like that.
That Unicorn Overlord game came out. Did we talk about that last week?
I feel like we've talked about it before, but that's by those. What's the name of the
Vanillaware.
Vanillaware, yeah.
Honestly, I watched some playthrough of it, and it didn't really grab me. I like it looks amazing, and I want it to be fun, but it kind of looks like a Shining Force style game, except when the battles start, you just kind of have to sit back and watch. You don't actually get to do anything.
Well, you didn't do anything in Shining Force either.
Well, I guess. I don't know. This feels different. You don't get to choose any of your attacks or anything. It just kind of happens. I don't know. It looks kind of boring to me, unfortunately. I remember now. Jim mentioned it earlier this week. System Shock Remake is coming to PlayStation and Xbox this May. I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
So
Too, that game looks pretty cool.
Aren't there 2 remakes, and one's like a sort of remaster where they use the original pixel graphics, and one's not? Is that what happened? I'm very.
I believe that is correct. I believe, but the one we're talking about is a full on like next gen remake.
I don't believe there are 2 remakes. I believe there is one remake of System Shock
and a remaster. There is a remaster though.
I don't think that's correct. But I don't think that it is a full blown. It is a remake, but I believe that it sticks very strongly to the original in like how it plays. From what I read from the reviews, like it's still like really fucking hard. It looks pretty interesting. I have never played System Shock, only System Shock 2.
I haven't really played any of them. Not for more than
System
an
Shock
hour.
Either.
System Shock 2 was one of the first games that first PC games I played that really like gripped me. Like the sound design was really good and you could like tell which direction things were from the sounds that it made, and it was very atmospheric. It also was one of the first games I played that was like that first person RPG style. Like what's the other ones, like the Deus Ex games, where you can really decide how you're going to play. Am I going to focus on using like powers or weapons, or am I going to be a hacker? So for me, it's probably more nostalgia than anything. I would love to see a modern remake of System Shock 2. It was probably one of the first good horror games I played. But I never played the original because it really, even when System Shock 2 had come out, System Shock 1 looked so outdated. I never played it. I guess maybe Jim was right. There is a System Shock Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, I don't know which one's. I know one of them's better than the other, and I don't remember which one it is.
Well, the Enhanced Edition came out in 2015.
Oh, okay, yeah. The one that came out recently is supposed to be really good.
It's this is a
that's the one that's coming to consoles.
This is, I believe, a remake. 2023 remake. Anyway, I'm excited to finally check out the original, and I have read good reviews, not great, like this is the best game we've ever played reviews, but like that it definitely piqued my interest, but it was PC only, and y'all know how I feel about that. But it's got pretty good reviews, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I'm very excited about that. Also, Capcom released their first teaser trailer for Akuma, finally coming to Street Fighter 6. I know y'all are excited about that. Everybody loves Akuma.
Oh, cool.
No.
You don't love Akuma?
No.
Why don't
Everyone
you love
online
Akuma?
always plays as Akuma and then always destroys me. Because Akuma's invincible.
Akuma has high attack but has low health. Did you know that? Didn't know that, did you?
Because I've never hit him. Because he's
I always like Akuma. I can't lie. I always enjoy playing as Akuma. I like them, Ryu's and Ken's and all them boys, and I'm excited about Akuma. This is, I believe, the last character coming out in this season pass. I don't know if I'll keep buying season passes. It just kind of depends on what they announce, but excited about that. What about the rest of you? Somebody else come up with some gaming news. It's 2. It's 3. You're welcome.
There's been a lot of Dragon's Dogma stuff happening. They released the character creator for the game
that's right,
ahead of its full launch. So if you want to take your time and build a really involved character, I've seen a lot of them posted online, and man, if you take the time, you can. It's very meticulous. You can make like almost anybody. It seems like it's pretty cool. And they released a 7-minute trailer today that was narrated by Ian McShane. For some reason, I don't know
for
why.
What game?
For Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
I
Dragon's
thought
Dogma
he was
2.
dead.
Yeah, pretty weird. No, he's still alive. He was just in John Wick like 2 years ago.
He's been in all the John Wicks, hasn't he?
Not the first. Oh, he was in the first one.
Yeah, he's in all of them.
Yeah, he's been in all of them. Yeah. And that's about all I had for hot gaming news, I guess. John, anything from you?
Not really. I don't think there's anything that's really piquing my interest right now that's coming up. Yeah, nothing too exciting.
Well,
TikTok's getting banned. Is that
have...
gaming news? Do you guys feel like that's hot gaming news?
I was gonna post more on there when I have free time, but yeah.
Well, it wouldn't get banned for you.
No, I know.
How's that
gonna work?
Well, the actual bill is they're trying to force the sale of TikTok.
Okay.
They don't actually want to ban it.
Will that pass?
I honestly am kind of half suspecting that
they want it to be sold to tech bros and have it ruined.
I mean, isn't it already kind of ruined?
I like TikTok.
It's got a lot of misinformation, but you can just hit block on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. The Chinese government can hack into your phone whenever they want and steal your identity.
Oh, yeah, because it's so much better when the American government does it because they're the good guys.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a true fact. Both of those things can be bad, though. You know?
Definitely.
I mean, the TikTok ban, the whole thing is nonsense. Like, social media and privacy need to be regulated.
I think it's good for U.S.-China relations that China gets access to my data and sees the kind of TikToks I send to John.
Yes.
Yeah, probably is great for them.
I think that's gonna ease a lot of those tensions.
I kind of have been wondering if this is not like a fucking psyop where like it passed the House and it's gonna pass the Senate and then Biden's gonna veto it and it's gonna be like, I saved TikTok, vote for me. You know?
Ooh, yeah, that's not a bad election year tactic.
Get that youth vote. I saved TikTok.
That Gen Z vote. Yeah.
I'm the man who saved TikTok. This guy, he wants to take away your right to vote. And that includes upvoting TikToks.
He's too old to know how to TikTok, but me, Joe Biden, I know how to TikTok. Let me talk about cookies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want a TikTok video of Joe Biden doing the making out with Shrek filter.
I do have one piece of non-gaming, though somewhat gaming-related news that I meant to bring up last week. It's a real bummer. Akira Toriyama died, the creator of Dragon Ball, the lead character designer for Chrono Trigger, Jim's favorite game of all time, as well as the Dragon Quest games.
Episode last time.
Oh, that's right. I did mention it, didn't I?
We didn't really talk about it.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, Dragon Quest, Blue Dragon.
Oh, yeah, Blue Dragon. I actually do want to do that on the show one of these days. Fun. Like, I've never really played it.
I'd like to play Dragon Quest.
It's so annoying.
His art is super cute and very influential.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's like he's an amazing and super talented artist. And he has put out so much work that at this point it all kind of looks homogenous, which isn't really his fault. Yeah. Just kind of what it is.
His style, yeah.
He's got 3 faces that he swaps between. Though that's also pretty typical for anime in general. Like,
he did design
big eyes, no nose.
The Chrono Trigger characters is what you're saying. I forgot that.
He did, yes. Yeah. Chrono is a...
If you look at the illustrations of Chrono, he's Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Even his outfit is
he does
based
have
on
that
Goku,
little
I believe.
face.
He loved that spiky hair.
The big spiky hair.
So is Cloud's outfit in the original Final Fantasy VII also based off of Goku.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't think that Chrono's outfit looks very much like Goku's. It's more of a tunic and less of a gi. He definitely has the Super Saiyan hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%. The rest of the, I guess, Luca does have that Toriyama look, but I don't think like Robo or Frog or I guess
Ayla does.
If you look at the cover, the original cover with the frog Chrono and Luca, and they're fighting the monster
I
looks
used to have a-
just
I used
like
to
a
have a
Toriyama monster.
Yeah. I used to have a poster of that in my room when I was a kid. I loved that.
I would
that
have
art
a
is so
poster
cool.
of that
In fact,
now. I think it would be a
Looking
good
at
use
it,
of.
I would say that Chrono has a Vegeta face, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means,
anyway-
listeners. Listeners, write in and explain that joke to me.
You don't know who Vegeta
No.
is? He's Vegeta.
There's only like 7 characters in Dragon
Okay.
Ball.
Yeah.
Vegeta's one of them.
It's not true, actually. It's a massive cast of characters.
Yeah,
but,
that is a huge cast.
yeah, it's a bummer. And, Jim and I were talking about doing Chrono Trigger for the next season of the stream. We will hopefully be wrapping Final Fantasy VI up in a couple of episodes. So, yeah, maybe we can kind of, say that it's because of this and not because we already talked about it.
I said that I wanted to do an FMV game with you guys, and Matthew was like, "Shut up and fuck off."
That's not what I
Yeah.
said. Like, we're in the middle of I was kind of like, my thinking on that was like, I would love to do an FMV game, but that feels more like a fun bonus thing to do and not a, hey, let's take a break from our regularly scheduled playthrough of whatever we're playing and do this random
Then
game.
Matthew said,
You know
"What
I
a
mean?
stupid suggestion, dum dum."
It's not what I said. I said I would love to do that, maybe as a fun bonus thing, and not interrupting the playthrough of, say, Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger. Like, here's my question. Can you not just come on and join us and have a conversation? Like, you have to have your own special game? No, you don't. You can just join us. It's fine. We've
Yeah.
played these games. Just hop on. It'll be a good time. All right, well, that's all the hot gaming news we have this week, so I guess that we need to discuss how we level up, and of course we have to address the elephant in the room. Or, I'm not going to say that. I just almost made a
Can
really
I
mean
give
joke.
you one piece of hot gaming news?
Sure, of course. I thought you were
Sure.
done.
So, the EA guy, the CEO, Andrew Wilsons, was talking about how this was like in an investor talk, or Morgan Stanley event, sorry, about how AI is really exciting because it used to take him 6 months for programmers to design a stadium, and last year with some AI tools it took 6 weeks, and he thinks he can get this down to, or 3 months and 3 weeks, and then down to 3 days or 6 days with AI. He's very excited, all
Cool.
in.
Sounds like
Um,
a recipe for
Did you
really
see
generic
Did you see the PC? Did you see the PC Gamer headline about his
No.
speech? The really funny one. It was like EA CEO starts talking about AI, and then bong rip hits, and he descends into like moronic AI fantasy talk.
I know that not everyone, but a lot of people are very worried about the impact of AI. I don't think it's as good as people think it is. Like, if you read stuff
It's
AI's
not.
written, if you see the pictures
not.
that AI makes, it's so bad.
Well, and also, like, it's not, like, we have this idea that, like, it's going to get better, and in some ways it is. Like, AI is figuring out how to do hands good,
When?
and that's nice.
Not yet.
That's good, but, like, it's not getting more creative,
Yeah.
and it's not going to get more creative because, newsflash, as we all know, this isn't really AI.
Yeah.
It's just not.
No.
That's just a fucking buzzword. This is just bullshit meant to push out generic crap without needing to pay anybody. And it's not going to...
There's this
It's not making it good.
poster. Do you know the show, Ryan Murphy show 911?
Yeah.
There's a
Well, I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it.
all over social media right now. It's being promoted by Global, which is a network here. They keep showing that poster with it's like a hand inside a cruise ship or something you see through a porthole and like New York City's behind, and there's big storm outside. Except the water inside the cruise ship is going one way, like the water line, and then perpendicular is the water line outside, which would not happen. And then like this gnarled hand is sticking out with these like creepy fingers, and everything's got that gradient. You know how every AI image has this like hyper contrast gradient, like every surface has like a light to dark. And it just looks so shitty.
There's like a weird sheen to everything.
Yeah, it's just, why? Just hire a real person. That's not going to be in the show. That shot, I mean, I guess it's sort of like those VHS covers from 40 years ago where like everything looks super amazing and they had that one painter do everything. But that shot's not going to be in the show. It's not. Yeah. And it just looks like such garbage. And I had a coworker showing me different clips of filmmaking by AI. And I was like, okay, but why is this a 10-second clip? Can they do a second scene with the same character? This one, the only shot that I found in any way worrying was this Chinese dragon festival, like, you know, one of those big dragon parades. But I was like, this just looks like a clip. This just looks like they sourced one or two clips because everyone had normal faces and no one was freaking out. And so
No, go ahead.
I just feel like you could probably do some research and find, oh, this is just one clip or maybe two merged together. Because there's no way the AI is not good enough to generate a crowd of people with normal looking faces and hands. Don't try to sell that on me.
Some of that stuff is getting better. Like I've seen some posts that I don't remember which one it was, but somebody was somewhere was I don't have the details. I didn't think we'd be discussing this, but I did see some posts about like how it's getting. Some of them are getting better at regenerating the same character for multiple shots and stuff like that. And those are the areas where it can improve. Right. Because that's just teaching it to do things correctly. You know, it's like hands. You can teach it to do hands right. It might take some effort, but what you can't do is teach it to like write a good script or come up with an original idea. All it can do is mash together things that it's stolen from other places, and that's the real problem. And that's why nobody that is a gamer or a movie watcher or a reader wants any of this crap, because that's what all it is. It's crap.
Rip off. It's B grade versions of other things.
Can't wait for all the all the B grade movies that are gonna come out that are all gonna be fucking boring and terrible. But hey, you know what? Warner Brothers, they can shave off the costs of paying for those actors and writers, and they can just funnel that money upwards to the fucking CEO so that dude can get himself another yacht after he was paid like $250 million fucking dollars last year for shutting down movies. Like,
maybe they'll make an AI Roger Corman and he can make more Roger Corman movies like Carnosaur and Fantastic Four.
Maybe they can replace the head of HBO with AI, because that seems more logical, right? Have we not discussed this? Like, seems like analyzing trends and like, you know, picking projects actually might be a strong suit for AI. Once the computer realizes
it just needs to kill everyone in the world, and it'll be much better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would complain.
It's gonna Skynet. It's gonna Skynet. Yeah. Anyway,
is it worth keeping us around? We're not great, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Your kids seem cool. Let's keep them alive.
We're constantly hurting each other. We make each other play fucking Bayonetta.
We tell each other to fuck off.
Yeah, Matt.
We intentionally address only one person when there's three people in the room to make the third person feel left out.
The third person was narrating Persona 3, and it seemed very busy.
That's a good game. You want to talk about that?
Let's talk about level ups.
Oh, great. I'll go first. Persona 3.
Oh, no.
I got a new dog. Have you guys heard that I got a new dog?
I thought you were going to tell us about a real dog the other night.
It is a real dog.
You of being withholding.
Konomaru.
Bark too loud.
I also call him Kono-chan. and he holds a little knifey between his teeth when he fights the chef.
Matt's got a new dog. One that's got a big knife.
It's a fun game, and I love it. Also, that DLC already came out that they announced. I thought it was coming eventually, but it was available today, so that's nice. I guess I'm not even fucking close to being done with that game, and now I have to play a 200-hour Final Fantasy game. I guess I did level up. I haven't done much exciting this week. I mean, we could level up and talk about how I'm going to see Less Than Jake again tomorrow. You guys want to talk about some 90s ska? Huh?
Pretty level up.
Huh?
Is Less Than Jake better than Ezra?
No.
Okay.
I did start watching another new show. Oh, actually, I had two things. I did start watching another new show, another sitcom. I had wrapped up. I talked about Animal Control last week, and I really liked it. But it's only one season, and the second season is airing, so there wasn't much. My brother's been up my butt for a while now to watch Abbott Elementary. I've heard
that's fun.
And it is very fun. It's very wholesome, and it's great. It's about an elementary school. It's just kind of about the teachers. It does that Office thing where there's like cameras, and they're constantly like looking at the cameras,
like the single camera thing.
Yeah, that was driving me crazy after The Office blew up, and I was very happy to see it finally kind of go away. But I have to be honest, like, now that not every show is copying it, I got out-of-minded in Abbott Elementary. The guy that they've got playing let's call him the Jim of the show, like the Jim.
I thought you meant Jim Banks.
Yeah.
The
guy they got playing
like,
the Jim of the show.
Tell me more.
Excellent at looking side-eyed at the camera when something silly happens.
Jim does that
you know what?
during our broadcast, our episode records all the time.
It's charming when it's used sparingly. It's got a bunch of great characters. The principal, whose name is Ava, is just absolutely insane and funny. It is really good, and it's kind of more wholesome than like an Animal Control or like a lot of modern sitcoms. And I'm really enjoying it. So maybe check that out, because I'm halfway through season 2, I think, and it's really hooked me. It's a great show. I also finally watched that Aquaman 2.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know about that Aquaman? Have you heard of Aquaman?
How does he kiss his brother?
Does he kiss his brother? So I guess that Aquaman 2 is the final movie of the kind of Zack Snyder franchise of the Justice League characters. Previously it was The Flash, and that movie was a flaming pile of dog shit. Absolutely one of the worst things I've ever seen. Yet. Don't. It's really bad. Don't. But Aquaman 2 was really good. It's not breaking any, barriers. It's a pretty typical action adventure movie. Doesn't feel as much like a superhero movie as it does just kind of a fun adventure movie. They do this, so the premise is that Black Manta from the first movie has obtained some dark evil power, and he's using it to slowly destroy the world by exacerbating climate change to the point that the ice caps are all about to melt, and
it'll be a water world.
Faster.
Be a real water world.
And
the only person
get some gills.
Aquaman. The only person that can help Aquaman find Black Manta in time to save the world is Orm, Ocean Master, the villain from the first movie, his brother.
I do like how Black Manta's design looks like Alpha 5 from Power Rangers.
It does. I also really like the actor
Alpha
that plays
5
Orm.
Looks like Black Manta. Black Manta's been around for like 50 years.
Yeah, so's Power Rangers. Look it up.
Technically, Alpha 5 is like 2,000 years old when he fell to Earth with Zordon, you idiot.
Anyway, so that we get a brother team up, that's kind of the most of the movie. And you know what? I think they do a great job. I I kind of was reminded how much I like Jason Momoa, because the last few things, like he was in that Fast and the Furious movie, and it was terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah, but I was
I like
reminded
Patrick. I like Patrick Wilson. I like Patrick Wilson a lot.
He's
I
great.
think he's probably one of the most consistently good. He's not. I don't know that I call him a good actor, but he's consistently performing in movies, like right where he needs to be. You know.
I think that they play
like
really
it.
well together, with obviously Jason Momoa being the kind of wild and crazy one, and Patrick Stewart, or whatever you said his name is, being the kind of uptight.
Aquaman, no!
Yeah, kind of the uptight one. But it ends up being a really great kind of buddy comedy. And again, kind of more of an adventure, which the first one was too, really. Kind of more of an adventure movie, with them going to different locations and, finding things they have to find and whatever. I wouldn't put it on my movie of the year list. It's not going to win an Oscar, but it was really good. And it was actually kind of nice to see those terrible Zack Snyder movies go out on a positive note. It's a pretty good time. So yeah, Aquaman 2, way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be pure trash, particularly after The Flash, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Aquaman 2 was good. It is worth your 2 hours. What about you, Jim? How did you level up?
I went and saw the hot new horror movie that everybody hates,
Devil
called
in the TV?
Imaginary.
TV Devil? Was that
I haven't seen Devil in the
Is
TV
Imaginary
yet.
about an
I
evil
saw
imaginary friend? Oh, cool.
Yes.
I like it.
It's an evil imaginary friend that wants to suck you down to his imaginary world so he can feed off of your creativity.
It's like that one movie, Drop Dead Fred, right?
Yeah, but more sinister.
Well, that was pretty sinister. Did you see Drop Dead Fred? That thing was terrifying.
I've seen Drop Dead Fred like 10 times.
Why would you see it that many times?
It's one of those movies
it was
that
on
we just
a
had
lot.
on VHS when I was a kid, and it was always on HBO or something.
It was always on Comedy Central or something. I also saw that movie a bunch, and it's not good.
It's not. But this one is also not good, so keeping the streak alive. I thought the lead actress looked like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the little girl character with the imaginary friend is an awful actor, and the effects are terrible. They're awful. There are certain scenes where you can tell that's a guy in a suit, a guy in a terrible suit with a scary head on it. And he's standing but the lighting is so bad, you can just tell that it's a dude standing there in a suit.
Does he do any TikTok dances or give sassy looks?
No, he just stands there.
It's kind of like The Babadook, which is a fantastic movie that I love. But the one time you really get to see The Babadook, it's just a dude in a top hat and pancake makeup, and really that's fucking it. And a coat, that's it. They very smartly only show him for a split second. But that movie was so tense right up until about the middle of the movie when you finally see the Babadook. I think it's just the one time you really see him too. And I legitimately just laughed when I saw him. I was like, oh no, this is otherwise an amazing movie.
When you see Chauncey, who's the imaginary friend in Imaginary.
Oh, I thought you're saying that
exciting.
Chauncey from Final Fantasy VII Remake is an imaginary friend. No, he's just just a robot.
That's Chadley.
He's just a robot.
That's Chadley.
Yeah, speaking of Chadley, I've been playing a ton of Final Fantasy VII
We're gonna talk
Rebirth.
about this.
You sound disappointed in it.
So much later.
No, I won't. I know, but I'm just gonna say I'm 40 hours in, and I'm still maybe 75% of the way through the game.
I mean, it's not too late to change your mind and pick something else, It's not too late.
No, we're doing it. It's
Okay.
it's gonna be great.
I'm sure once I start playing it, I'll get into it, But
yeah. John, how did you level up?
Well, I leveled up by I watched Animal Control. It's this show I don't know if you've heard of it. It's got Joel McHale
Mm-mm.
and that Villa Lovell from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's pretty good.
Matt said he didn't like it, right?
I don't think Matt's ever talked about this show or seen it.
Yeah, probably not.
It's pretty good. It's definitely feels very Canadian. It's shot all around Vancouver.
What are you guys talking about?
The show
Sorry, I had to go blow my
Animal
nose.
Control.
Oh, who's in that again?
Joel McHale, and he's acting a lot like his character is very much like his character in Community.
I would say that you're mispronouncing his name. It's not it's Jeff Winger. Jeff
Winger. Sorry, yeah.
Jeffrey.
He
does. He very much is playing a very similar character to Community. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. And it's got Mr. D from Mr. D, that Canadian comedy show. It's the most. They are not hiding that it's Vancouver in such a weird way. Like, it is like there's no composite shots where they put like the Space Needle in the background or anything.
Yeah.
Really, it's so Vancouver.
It doesn't feel like it's set like in Seattle. It feels like it's set like in the county. You know, like they're never in the city. They're just in like the suburbs.
I think you're supposed to be thinking they're in the city. It's
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I picked that up. What do you think about them puppets, though?
I thought they were going to be more, from your description, I thought they were going to be more Muppety. Like real, like they're fairly realistic looking puppets, except for the weasel. That was pretty great.
I mean,
and I did like.
I mean, they are fairly realistic looking, but like they're not so realistic looking that you would ever think that they're not.
Yeah. No, it's
like
a lot of fun.
A dude's hand up an ostrich's
It's a lot
neck.
of fun. The animals. I do think that the show should feature more puppets.
I agree with that. They don't always have a puppet, which is unfortunate. Every episode should be featured around a new stupid puppet.
I think that's kind of what they're going for, because they talk about a different animal in the title of each episode, and yeah.
Yes, the first episode of season 2 had a bunch of drunk raccoons, and it was fun.
That's good.
And they also are a bunch of silly looking puppets. I just really enjoy the puppets.
Is that like were they gophers in Caddyshack?
Yeah, it's gophers.
Okay.
And Caddyshack.
Yeah.
That movie fucking sucks.
I haven't seen it since I was a little kid, so I don't have.
I've actually never seen it, and I don't care.
My dad liked it.
I saw it a bunch when I was a kid because my dad loved it, and then I watched it
that's
as
a
an
dad
adult
movie.
and was like, this sucks, actually.
Now it's a grandpa movie. That's a grandpa movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, let's say, sexual assault culture in that movie.
Yeah.
Just like
real Revenge of the Nerds,
like a lot of
kind stuff, or not that bad.
Yeah, pretty women
Or
are
like
our
meatballs.
You're not a person, you're a thing that I'm going to have one way or the other.
I did like that. So in Animal Control, I did like the episode where what's the name of the New Zealander lady?
I'm not great with names.
But
frankly.
her
It
and
took me
Emily are
a full season
out to dinner
get
with the hot
Jeff
vet.
Winger's name.
And the hot
Yeah,
vet's
that's a good
like,
one.
I feel objectified, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, they have the bet on who's going to get with her
Yeah.
first, and she tells her, she's like, neither of you. I don't like any of you.
but
I like the
Emily.
I like the.
Emily in that dinner, obviously falling in love with the vet too, was so funny. That was.
I like her a lot. I think she's very funny.
I think you'd like her.
The
in
one thing
Crazy
that kind of bugs me
Ex-Girlfriend,
about both. Yeah, I've thought about watching it. Maybe I will give it a try one of these days. I just I always have a hard time starting things. The one kind of drawback to both Animal Control and Abbott Elementary is that they're setting the fucking will they won't they Jim and Pam relationship up like so obviously and so early that it kind of sucks. Like, every show can't do that or it doesn't work.
Yeah. I agree. I've also been playing. I finished Driver 3 because I'm going to review that next. That might have the single hardest mission of any game I've ever played. That took me like 3 hours to beat. I tried it over and over. I'm going to say 50 or 60 times. I was going insane by the end. That game is not great, but I like it. And it makes me very angry. I was swearing. Where you're playing a game by yourself, but you're still like, why? Why would they do this? Why would they design it this way? I was going insane finishing that. So there's that. And yeah.
John, did you leave our discussion about Canva in the last episode?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
That's why I said it has an unpaid ad for Canva.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, why would he leave that in the episode? I was just trying to have a conversation with him about something. I said, go ahead and cut this. It's not show material.
Aren't you? Oh, I thought you were talking about this now. You're not.
No, it's Jim's week to edit.
It's Jim's week to edit. All right, I guess that's it. I'll see when I can edit together an episode. I'm pretty busy for the next few weeks, but that's okay. What about math?
What about you, Vanessa?
Oh yeah, we should also say Vanessa had another surgery, but she's recovering well. That's how Vanessa leveled up.
Yeah, it sounds like it went really well, which is great.
Yeah,
she had an amazing,
and she's getting in lots of Rebirth time. That's exciting.
Is she? Because I still see her logged into the Xbox all the fucking time.
She's also been certified the Queen of Ferelden.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Alistair.
She got a fun little surprise.
He's her queen, or she's his queen. There we go.
He said that she's the Queen of Ferelden.
Yeah.
That's
canon now.
Yeah.
I actually feel kind of bad. Like, John had a great, like, I'll send her some, like, cheeses. And Jim was like, I'll do this amazing cameo. And I'm like, I don't have any ideas. What if I send her a comic book? Do you think she would like that?
Your name's on both of them.
I thought about sending her the new Ultimate X-Men comic book because it was super fucking good. And I think she would love it. But, like, I don't know. It's a comic book.
You could send her one of those
somebody's injured,
Taskmaster paintings they have in the background. You can buy a print of that and send it to her.
Anytime anybody's injured, I think of Seinfeld when the guy fell off the cliff and George brings him Superman comics. And it's like, Superman? You like Superman, right?
Does he like Superman?
Beat it, dude.
I don't remember that one.
Hunky Tony.
Oh, wasn't it George's fault that he fell off a cliff? Is that the one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what a great show.
Was that the guy that he was romantically interested in and couldn't, like, that was kind of...
He wasn't romantically interested in him. He was just he was very obsessed with him because the guy was, like, handsome and charismatic. Mm-hmm. And he, like, didn't know how to handle his, like, that. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Okay, well, why don't we talk about the final Bayonetta chapters? That's right. We're going to learn that Bayonetta is her own mother.
No, that's not.
Yep. Yeah.
Not what the game's about. You see her mom get murdered.
I don't. Is that true? Jim, is that true?
I don't remember seeing that. When
Yeah,
did that
she was one of the Lumen sages or witches that gets, like, killed in that big massacre.
The mom was an Umbran witch. Oh, she got killed in the witch hunt.
Yeah, you see, but I feel like he started off that killing. So he killed his wife. I don't know. You'll have to look up lore.
I don't think he was her wife. I don't think she was his wife.
I don't know. That's how I interpreted it. That the mom was...
I think they just banged.
That one witch lady. And that's why she thinks it's her mummy, because she looks like the mom. That was...
No, Bayonetta is her own mother. That's definitely...
I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that's what happened.
Jim? You want to weigh in here?
I honestly don't know. I don't know.
All right.
You know, as long as I can plant that idea in your head, I'm happy. Stupid fucking idea.
So they're back. They're back at the airfield. I don't know if you noticed they're reusing the airfield set from earlier.
Yeah, that's the whole game is reusing sets. And I believe we also do 2 fights with John in a fucking row here, basically, broken up by a cutscene. Like, it just never ends.
Well, you gotta fight Jean a little.
I like these one-on-one fights where you're fighting like another humanoid character that's like Bayonetta's size.
Has her
and
abilities.
It just feels, has her abilities and stuff. I like that way better than fighting the angel
I love fighting
guys.
the angel guys so much, though. This game might have my favorite combat of any game we've played. I really, really
You
like
know,
it.
I guess we'll have to...
Wow.
I guess we'll have to talk about it at the end, but I don't understand why there are still angels around after the game ends. Didn't Bayonetta kill them all?
Good
Didn't
question.
she kill God and throw God into the sun?
Yeah, well, God was just a big naked version of herself, which made it even weirder.
She didn't look anything like... Oh, all women look alike? Is that what you're saying?
She looked exactly like Bayonetta.
Oh, really? I did
100%.
I did
exactly.
not notice.
She had the same hair.
Okay.
She had the big same hair. She had the same... I mean, all the women in this game do look the same, John. That's not my fault.
But Jean has that, like...
Their hair color's different.
Okay, but they're all the
Some
exact
have
same
glasses.
height, and they all have the exact same body type, and none of them have a face, really. They all just have anime faces. Their only defining characteristics are their hairstyle and color.
What about Jean's weird 1920s clown mascara?
Oh, sorry, you got me. The makeup's slightly
Yeah.
different. You're right. Totally different people. How dare I get them confused?
I don't.
Oh, wait, hold on. Put some eye makeup on. That's a character. It's a totally new character.
Different colored
never seen
glasses.
before.
Make Bayonetta blonde. Okay, this is our second main character of the game.
She has...
Ooh, give her a motorcycle.
I think she has a shorter face than Bayonetta, though. She doesn't have Bayonetta's, like, super long chin.
Yeah, Bayonetta's like here on the slider,
Yeah.
and Jean is like here on the slider.
So, Luca wants to get in this airplane because he feels like that's the only way they're going to get to Isla del Sol and find out what's happening. So he wants to sneak onto this I forget what the plane's called. It's not like Jorgmander, but is it Mjolnir? What was the name of these planes? Goliath? No.
Was it Mjolnir?
I don't remember. Anyway, they got these big Galahorn. Is that it?
Oh, Gjallarhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gjallarhorn. That's what it was. Do you guys know what
It's a
Gjallarhorn
weapon
is?
in Destiny.
Gjallarhorn
care.
in mythology, it's the horn that blows at the start of Ragnarok. That's
I told
Gjallarhorn.
you it's Ragnarok-y stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, Baldur is. So anyway, I did like Cereza has a moment with Luca where she's like, give me back my glasses, and he's like, where'd you get these magic glasses? And she says, the glasses aren't magic, stupid. I can just
You were
see.
right. You were,
Yeah.
because you
And
claimed that
also-
last time, and you were right.
It does not explain why at this point Luca just no longer needs the glasses. He just doesn't need them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't explain
'Cause he
that,
believed.
which is fine because it's garbage, so who
He
cares?
believed.
But
If you believe.
in fact,
you
the
can see.
game later on
Like Peter
flat
Pan.
out has Luca explain like the creative process behind this game when Luca is like, this is all diarrhea of the mouth. I was like, yes, Luca.
I knew you were going to latch
like
on to
a
that.
meta moment. You have recognized exactly what's happening in this game, which is just absolute fucking word salad and throw it out there, baby. What do we care if it makes sense?
I like it.
But anyway, Luca can see her now, can see Bayonetta now. And I appreciate the fact that Luca has come to the conclusion that Bayonetta is not actually the killer of his father.
Mm-hmm.
However, the complete 180 he does to, I hate Bayonetta, she killed my father, into, I want to fuck you. Which he already
He did that even when he thought.
But my point is, like, there's literally no time at all for him to, like, sit with this, to, like, have a change. It just happens. It's just convenience. It's just like, oh, well, I guess Bayonetta's a hero, and I'm all in on this bullshit.
Mm-hmm. He is. they really should have had like 2 or 3 chapters that's just him sitting at home and thinking about things and kind of working through his feelings.
They could have had a chapter where he's like doesn't know how to feel about this, where he's maybe still kind of forced into helping her and isn't happy about it, and then maybe comes around and is what? But no,
one chapter he's like having coffee
with
his friend, talking about what happened, and then another chapter when he's like trying to write and he's sort of processing things together, and he's like, well, I guess she's okay, and I've always been attracted to her, and yeah.
I thought he had never seen her until the events of this game.
Well,
there should have been a montage where he's reading a magazine and he sees a woman that looks like Bayonetta, and he's walking down the street and he sees a mannequin with Bayonetta's outfit on, and he just can't get her out of his head.
And it'll have Kylie Minogue's "Can't Get You Out of My Head" in the background.
Yes.
A good needle drop.
He sees a woman that looks like Bayonetta from behind with that terrible looking beehive hairdo, but then she turns around and she's just like really unattractive, and he does the whole like whoa!
or it's a man that he thought was Bayonetta from
or it's a man. Yeah, let's throw some gay panic in. This
great.
Game feels like it needs some gay panic.
No, it's got the opposite of gay panic. It's got lesbian love.
Does it?
Kinda.
I don't know.
Jean is like, no one else can have her, can possess her, and like races to her rescue, and it starts playing Jim Steinman's Holding Out for a Hero, and
this is like when people see the end of the Fellowship of the Ring and are like, Frodo and Sam are in love.
I mean, I thought that from the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring. I'm like, oh, they're a nice couple.
Mm-hmm.
So
nobody can be friends in Hollywood anymore. They all got to be
I'm
fucking.
sorry. There's a definite romantic tension between Jean and Bayonetta.
You know what? I don't agree. I mean, maybe from Jean's side, I can see that. But I don't get that from Bayonetta's side.
I feel the same way.
Well, so you get on the plane, which he's going to like sneak on and be all stealthy. Bayonetta just throws him on the plane, and then things start going wrong, and Cerecita's like falling, and he's trying to grab her, and he can't get her, and she falls inside the plane, which is pretty lucky. And then I guess, what happens to Luca here? Does he fall off the plane?
I thought he fell off the plane,
and, meanwhile, Bayonetta is chasing Cerecita, and you got like a fight all through a plane. Which I want to say is a new location, but it's not, because we've seen the inside of one of these planes in the opening. So that's definitely a reused location.
I feel like around this chunker I really got a hang of the combat. Like I was dodging a lot and doing counters and triggering witch time, and everything was going pretty smoothly. Then I felt like the game, it would throw like a random QTE at me where I would have to hit 2 buttons at the same time. And if you don't do it, you die. You die? Come on.
That's been happening the whole game.
I feel like it does it a lot at the end.
It does do it a lot at the end. It also does that thing where like suddenly jump in some areas, jumping is a QTE.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
fuck
that last boss fight has
and
that a bunch.
then if you don't, you die?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You die?
Where it's just
Come
like,
on.
oh, well, don't use the jump button. No, we want you to hit the special QTE jump button for this
the
particular
QTE
jump.
Yeah, you have to
directional.
Push that analog stick up and hit
in
the
that
button.
boss fight. I got that wrong so many times because it sort of like switches back and forth.
So did I.
And you're like,
I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's bad game design. Like, it's bad.
I don't like those QTE. I like the game a lot. I don't like the QTE stuff. I think that's a negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, listen, I don't think any of us particularly like QTE in almost anything. Like, it works in some cinematic-y stuff like the
Detroit Become Human.
games
Yeah, it's fine there because you're expecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and heavy
jamming
rain.
it into your action game doesn't work. And listen, we've seen this, Tomb Raider made the same mistake 10 years later. Like, hey, let's jam some QTE scenes into this Tomb Raider game.
Oh
Lara
yeah.
Croft die terribly.
This game should have had a QTE basketball game like that
Hang
one
it
David
up.
Cage game we played. Hang it up.
Speaking of basketball, when you fight Golem again, I don't think we talked about it last time. How Bayonetta's hands play volleyball with Golem for a little while and then let it drop.
Yeah, that definitely happens here. Yeah,
They do reuse that animation, but it's so delightful that I don't mind because they
It is.
no, that's
it is
pretty
funny.
cool.
Yeah, it is funny.
You get like a bump, and then you get like a hands doing like a set.
and then
And
it
then-
drops
yeah,
to the
it's
ground and
amazing.
it just sort of hangs there,
Yeah.
and then just all the hands just punch it.
Mhm.
What a great that's the kind of QTE stuff I think the torture attacks work because if you fail them, it doesn't kill you. It just like you don't get a bonus.
I agree with you on that particular point, but I don't like the torture attacks for other reasons.
The only one I don't like is Joy. I guess that they should have had 2 or 3 per enemy design instead of the same one.
Well, also, there's not that many enemy types in this game.
Yeah.
So you're going to see Bayonetta kick somebody into an Iron Maiden or put them on a rack 6 gabillion times. And frankly, like, after a while, I just was, can I hit start to skip this? I wasn't using them because I don't want to sit through it. Thank you.
Oh, I don't even do the torture attacks.
I do
anymore.
like if you do them against those manta ray things, you get the chainsaw from your quick time. That's really
Oh yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
That one's a lot of fun. All right, so you fight through the plane. The plane starts to crash. Well, first you fight Jean on the wing, because Jean's like, I got the girl, and you gotta have a Jean fight somewhere. So they put in a Jean fight here. Unfortunately, the fight does break the plane a little. Yeah, they put some holes in the plane, and the plane does crash. And what I think is the most fun part of this game, or no, of this level, is where it's crashing and then does an Uncharted thing where it's kind of upside down, and you have to like go up through the plane, and it's filling up with water. The filling up with water mechanic doesn't work that well because I guess it's electrified water, so you have to keep Cereza out of the water because it'll drain her shield.
It also didn't really it didn't work consistently. I felt like sometimes I felt like I was hitting the water and getting hurt. Sometimes I felt I was doing it and I wasn't.
Yeah, that was I liked the design, or not, like the idea of the level a lot. I think they could have made it better. There was do you ever play Tomb Raider Legend or Underworld?
I did.
I don't think so.
Underworld had
not much of them. They weren't very good.
I liked Legend a lot. Underworld had a level that first was the worst looking Tomb Raider level I'd ever seen on a cargo ship, but then it starts breaking up and flipping upside down and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's why it looks so basic, because they're going to fill it with water and physics and stuff. And it turned really cool. But I think Legend is a better of those two. The Legend's the better game, but I do think the reboot looks better.
My favorite level in Uncharted 3, which is a game I don't like, is when you're on the cruise ship. I haven't
played it.
And you're on like a cruise ship and you're getting pummeled by a hurricane, and you're on the ship and it's like rocking back and forth, and then parts of it sink, and it's just a really cool setting for a level.
So what's wrong with Uncharted 3? Why do people not like it?
I don't know. I think it's mostly pretty boring, actually. And it's just not good at telling its story, and it doesn't have a good villain. It feels like a story that they should have put in like a comic book instead of making a whole game around.
I wonder if that Golden Compass one is any good.
I've heard that's good. The one that's on PSP.
Vita. Yeah.
Vita. Yeah, I have that on Vita, but I've never played it.
You always see the cartridge for like $10, so I should pick it up sometime.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you get out of the boat, and then that's the end of the chapter. But she's still in hot water, huh? She's without a paddle. For chapter 13, the cardinal virtue of prudence, and prudence is like like a big spidery boss thing. It's a little spider. I don't know. Maybe like a crab. How would you describe it?
Yeah, I would say crab.
It's only got 4 legs though, and it doesn't have pincers.
Yeah, no pincers, but it has like it looks crustacean-y.
Jim, don't say it like that.
It only
Pincers?
got
No,
pincers.
Say it like an American.
I'm from Tyler,
like an
Texas. It's got pincers.
It's a pincer.
Woo! I'm a
It's a
cowboy.
pincer.
You know that's not
Mountain
how
Dew
you
is
pronounce
water. Matthew's glaring at
Jim's
the
the type of
camera.
person that goes.
Dew
Jim's
is-
the type of person
Mountain
that
Dew is water.
Jim's the type of person that goes to a Mexican restaurant and orders an agua.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not pretentious.
Have you ever been to like a
Pincers.
Chinese restaurant where your friend tries ordering in Chinese and the waiter's obviously like being like, "No, it's okay," but they're really
Yeah.
wanting to.
Don't do this to both of us, please.
All right. So this boss fight, I didn't like it because it gets really annoying, and I kept failing every like QTE prompt, and there's a million QTE prompts, and then it does one QTE prompt, and then
There's a
switches
bunch.
to a different one, and if you don't press those 2 buttons instead of left and Y, it's gonna make you redo it over and like redo a 2-minute section of this boss fight. So this one took me a while. It's got legs with faces on it.
There were a
that you
couple.
hurt.
Yeah, there were a couple bad checkpoint bosses in this game where if you failed a QTE, you were taken back and you had to redo like a minute or two. That happened a couple times.
That
to
happened to me in
this
that
Junker.
motorcycle part too, where like I
For sure.
failed a QTE and suddenly I was back like 2 minutes.
Oh, really?
Come on.
Oh, wow. So you punch and kick, and then the QTE event is after you like break a couple of its legs and punch its face mouth thing, you do ride on top of it. You turn your hair into sort of a bridle and you're controlling it, and then you're making it ram into a water. Is it a spider? That's the spider, the water spider, right?
That's the
Yeah,
big
it's a
spider.
Yeah, and then a bunch of little spiders come out and
That's
eat
where I was like, oh, Jim's not going to like this. But he'd already played it and didn't complain. So I guess it was fine.
because they're hair.
Yeah, it was
It's all
fine.
made of hair.
There,
Yeah, it's not a real
I
spider.
did like...
That's when Bayonetta is surfing on like a door
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, a door from the
and
plane.
starts to do her Bayonetta dance, and then all of her clothes turn into spiders, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fucking
I want to know what she says when she does her little dance. Is it just like a
Yeah, I
chant?
think
Syllables?
each one of those summons has a different name. Like when you're fighting through Father Baldur, she summons each one and she does say something different. Like one's like Malubala or something.
Ah.
So each one of those summons has a name, I think.
Okay.
And this fight, I did like the ending because the enemy starts creating like a water, what do you call that? A vortex thing, whirlpool. But
Yeah.
then it turns into one of those spiders that uses the whirlpool as a trap, and you trap the monster in its web, and that's pretty fun. And then all the little baby spiders eat it.
And it yells out, Jubileus bless you.
Yeah,
as
that
it
was
does.
gnarly because it's like a broken head, like the jaw's just laying there open, but it's still talking to you. Ugh.
Oh yeah, that's the one that starts with him like repeating the same thing that all of these things have said, and Bayonetta like throws a telephone pole in its mouth to shut it up. That was pretty fucking good. I was like, yeah, I agree, Bayonetta. I'm sick of this shit. Like we've heard it. God, even the writers of this game are tired of this game.
So now, Luca does rescue Bayonetta. Oh man, this is my favorite cutscene in the game, and I know Matt's gonna have problems with it because it is super problematic, but I loved it because I'm a piece of shit.
You're talking about when he stares at her fucking
Yeah,
chest.
well, not just that. So he comes in with a helicopter. Don't ask. She's like, "How did you survive that?" He's like, "I'm Luca, baby. Luka, wink."
I want to say this. That happens, and it's not just Luca. This happens so many times at the end of this game that it felt like that first episode of the Midnight Club when they were like, this episode of television is going to have the most jump scares of anything ever. And after like 5 minutes of it, you were just like, please stop.
Is it like when in
good.
the My Brother and Me horror episode of the TV show where Justin kept doing jump scare? That was great.
Every time somebody looks like they may have just died off screen, we're going to definitely be getting a special little cutscene showing either Luca firing his grappling gun that he has for some reason, or Jean calling her motorcycle. Like, it just keeps fucking
I like when the
epic.
motorcycle light flashes
God, I
at
should
her,
rewatch that My
and
Brother,
then
My
her
Brother
eye
and Me
flashes
show. Like,
back.
where is that?
And she's fine.
Yeah.
And when the motorcycle heals her, saves her.
The motorcycle winks at her.
Yeah. But okay, so he's on the plane, or not the plane, helicopter, and they're gonna fly the helicopter to the city. And meanwhile, Bayonetta is so wet. She is so wet. Her Princess Peach outfit is dripping. Or
Oh, really?
Yeah, or whichever outfit.
I didn't notice that she looked wet.
Maybe it's easier to see with the Princess Peach outfit that it was just water droplets everywhere. And then
There were water droplets. I do remember that. One rolls off the tip of her breast.
yeah, and then
he's,
sparkles
like, staring
as
at it.
Luca is staring at it. and then Bayonetta's like, Luca, shouldn't you be flying this helicopter? And then the best shot in the game where Luca looks up, zoom in on his frightened face, zoom in on Cereza's frightened face, zoom in on Bayonetta's wet breasts. I laughed
It also,
so
I think,
hard.
does like a comparison shot. We see that there are missiles flying at the helicopter,
Yeah.
and they kind of look like breasts, and then it kind of shoots back and looks at Bayonetta's breasts again, like, eh?
But
You get
like
it?
the big glint of light of the water droplet on Bayonetta's nipple was so dumb. Like it literally goes.
What really
ding!
disturbed me about this was the little girl in the back seat looking at Luca and looking at Bayonetta and looking at Luca and looking at Bayonetta. It's like, can you leave the child out of your sex play, dude? This is not cool.
So she does manage to Bayonetta saves the day. She gives Cereza to Luca and then hangs him off the back of the halo on these missiles, because these missiles have like spiky halos.
Yeah.
And then
They look like torpedoes.
torpedoes are underwater.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. They do.
Torpedo's just an underwater missile, Jim. It's just an underwater missile.
Yeah, but these are like air torpedoes.
Yeah, but an air missile,
Which I guess are missiles.
doesn't need...
A missile is an air torpedo too, I guess.
True. Well, I guess space torpedoes are photon torpedoes.
I learned a lot about torpedoes last week. You know what?
Let's just keep saying the word
Let's
torpedo.
have a quick aside
Torpedo.
for Matt's
Torpedo.
an extra Matt level up. I watched World War II in color on Netflix, and it was really great.
Jim. Torpedo.
Do you guys want to talk about World War II?
Did they have lots of torpedoes in World War II?
Yeah, like the admirals at Pearl Harbor didn't think the water was deep enough for torpedoes to work, and then the Japanese planes just dropped them in and blew up a lot of boats.
Let's talk about torpedoes on Torpedo Talk.
Are you talking about Bayonetta's boobs again?
Torpedoes.
What is torpedoes? Not a Spanish word.
It sounds like it. It sounds like
This is racist.
like
don't
Puss in
think it
Boots
is.
should be saying it. You don't understand. I will win this fight because I have torpedoes. Well, that's more that guy that
Yeah, if you want to do some more,
Racist.
if you want to do some more impressions of Hispanic people, that would be great.
well, it's more of a
It's real good for the
We
show.
have this. I didn't know that Robin Williams was guest starring on this.
No,
episode.
I'm doing an
also,
impression
now's
of
a good time to mention
Mandy
that this
Potemkin
podcast
in
has
Princess
been picked
Bride.
up. This podcast has been picked up by Ben Shapiro's
Oh,
podcast
no.
network. So
Oh yeah.
They're going to talk about the Overton window again. That's all. They're obsessed with it. Shut the fuck up.
That's the boob window on Bayonetta's
Yes,
shirt, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So then she uses her magic hair.
Sorry, that's the over torpedo window.
To make a little headset, and she does say, "Get ready." And then she says...
Yeah, she does, which I thought was really fucking silly.
And then she says, "Welcome to my fantasy zone," instead of "Welcome to the fantasy zone." And it becomes Space Harrier. It's got the Space Harrier
you're gonna have
music.
to explain this.
Oh, the Space Harrier starts out with, "Welcome to the fantasy zone." And then...
What? So let's start at the beginning. What's a Space Harrier?
It's an arcade game. It's second Sega Super Scaler game where they started having super fast scaling sprites. And you are a man flying through a Roger Dean painting, and it's got like a checkerboard ground, and you can fly and shoot. And there's lines of aliens or things that you blow up, and you fight dragons, and it's all very trippy and like 70s looking. Looks like a prog rock album cover. But this actually plays more like Panzer Dragoon Saga. Or no, just regular Panzer Dragoon.
I just want to say the name Space Harrier doesn't seem to match the game.
You don't think that he looks like a Harrier? What? I don't know what Harrier means. I mean, I know it's a plane.
Isn't that like a plane?
Yeah, I know it's a plane. But it's just a guy with a big gun that shoots these oval-shaped bullets, and you have to dodge these oval-shaped bullets. And I'd noticed before that the manta rays did shoot oval-shaped bullets, and I should have realized that's what the manta rays and Space Harrier do. So from the beginning, they're a Space Harrier reference. But now it just becomes overt when you're fighting them. But it has a Panzer Dragoon /
You should really see Ready Player One, because clearly you would love it. You know,
Panzer Dragoon, just regular, and Afterburner, I guess, have that lock on for your missiles, but your missiles do take magic. However, I do like the missiles. They don't shoot an actual missile; they shoot, in my case, Bowser's fist, and every time you fire it, you just hear Bowser go "Raw," and I loved it.
That's fun.
That's pretty great.
And so you sort of have to balance using your guns and using your missiles, maybe save the missiles for the tougher enemies, and you try to blow up as many enemies as possible. If you let some of the enemies past you, you'll have to fight them on the missile you're on. And there's a bunch of bosses. There's maybe too many bosses. I think like 3 or 4. This level goes on for a while and would have been better if it was 5 minutes. I think there's you can get too much Space Harrier / Afterburner / Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It looked really pretty. I think that this game's maybe one of the best looking Switch games. It looks so good.
It does look good.
I think this game's fucking hideous, but we've discussed that already.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot of bad textures.
Yeah.
But
and colors.
I like the graphics and
I like this fight.
Kind of an ugly color palette.
Every once in a while, it does things with colors where I'm like, oh, so you do know how to make a good-looking game. That reminds me. I don't know if you saw this, and it's kind of neither here nor there, but No More Heroes 3 was added to Game Pass today, John.
Ooh.
I thought you would be excited about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about No More Heroes for some reason the other day.
Yeah, not for the show, though.
No.
Not for the show.
We're not going to play it for the show. You know what would be good? I should put that for the vote next time. Killer 7 as a game for this year. I think that would make Matt as mad, maybe more mad.
It's fine. I've never taken a season off. Like I could do it. It's fine. I'm not doing another game like this. I had a bad time.
Anyway,
I'm having a fun time talking about it, and like the plot and stuff. While I don't think it was good, and like the characters and stuff, I don't think they were good, but they were entertaining. You know, it was somewhat entertaining. But the actual, even on the easy mode, the actually playing this game was just a real chore.
So you get past all these bosses, and then eventually you crash into, you save him and crash into the city, into a building.
Is this Vigrid? I was confused. It's very much like a city.
This is like they built an island off of Vigrid for this eventful group built this island with the
Correct.
Laguna cult,
Yeah.
which they never explain, or maybe I never got the document.
And it's all like they're all towers. Like it's all
There's
skyscrapers.
Basically, the big tower is flanked by a lot of towers with with those Galahad systems or whatever, the SAMs. They go on about that like 5 times. The different, but it doesn't really matter.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I was definitely zoning out.
But you crash into a big corporate tower, and now you're gonna.
I was listening to K2 in one ear while I was trying to play the
What's
game.
K2?
You know?
Oh, sweet.
It's my new favorite song.
Oh. So now you climb the corporate tower. And you fight a different boss on each floor, basically. And what did you think of the corporate tower?
Wait, is the corporate tower the one where you have to go all the way up before you see, where you have to like go into the sky and stuff?
At the end, yeah, you're going up like the side of the tower and
Okay.
stuff.
I didn't like
it's
this
the
at
one
all.
where, but at first you're just going inside the tower and you're like seeing that there's all these machines in the middle. I think that Jubileus is like the statues in the middle of the tower.
Yeah, you see the statue of Jubileus in the center.
But
you have to keep going up. There's one part here where there are platforms activated around the perimeter of the tower, and you have to go up, but you have to scale it vertically, but also go to the side because the platforms will disappear and new ones will appear. And I could not discern a pattern to what was happening. It took me like 30 minutes.
I was proud of myself
because I just could not
I got
figure
the
it out.
2 chests here. I got like the piece.
I got one of them.
But I know I missed a bunch of other things on this climb up. There's also a turret sequence, which really places this in 2010. Because remember the late 2000s to early 2010s, there had to be a turret sequence in your game where you're shooting. And this one,
for sure.
This one reminded me of Dead Space, except then I realized that you could still dodge. So you really didn't have to shoot the missiles. You just dodge when they come near you. And then that's how you...
Wait, what? You could dodge what?
You know how you had to kind of shoot these missiles that were coming at you when you're doing the... You could just hit dodge and you won't get any damage. You're invincible. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I was like, taking all this damage.
And so he... this is... I forgot what the second... It's not Temperance. It's this... Oh, no, it is Temperance. Yeah, you fight Temperance again. But he does this charge shot, which you can't dodge. However... If you keep shooting him as he's charging, he won't shoot. So that's how you do that. That's a little strategy corner. And then just hit ZR when you're about to get hit by missiles, and you'll go get invincibility frames. It's fine. I died the first time, not realizing these 2 things.
Oh, really? See, I didn't die, but I almost did. I took a ton of damage.
All right, you kids vamp. I need to urinate.
Hey, Matt, so how you feel about Liquid Mike?
Pretty good. I've been listening to that new album. I haven't listened to any of the older stuff really, but I have been listening to that new album pretty frequently. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between them and the band Microwave. I don't remember if you told me about them or if my buddy Josh did.
You told me that you were going to see Microwave, and you asked if I'd heard of them, and I said yes, I have heard of Microwave. I haven't listened to a ton of them.
I don't think I said I was going to see them. I'm not seeing them.
I thought you said that they were opening for a band that you were going to see.
Well, the only band I'm going to see is Less Than Jake. And
Is Microwave opening for Less Than Jake?
I don't think so. I've been getting ads for this Less Than Jake concert that I already have tickets for like fucking 2 weeks nonstop on YouTube. YouTube very much wants me to know about this concert that I already bought tickets to. Let's see. Who is opening for Less Than Jake this time? I mean, listen, Hot Mulligan opened for him once, and that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they're good. They're playing here in a couple weeks, actually.
Who?
But they're opening for Hot Mulligan is. But they're opening for Jimmy Eat World, who's opening for Fall Out Boy, so the tickets are expensive.
I bet. Give me just a sec.
Is it Jimmy Eat World or Hot Hot Heat that does the middle? Because I can never remember.
That's
Okay,
Jimmy Eat
that's
World.
a good song.
That's a good song.
Oh no, Hot Heat does Middle of Nowhere. That's the song I like.
That
The
whole
song that
album
I
by
know
Jimmy
from
Eat World
Hot
is
Hot
really
Heat.
good. All American. What is it?
They have Bleed American is the one you're talking
Bleed
about.
American.
But
They
they
changed
have
the
like
name.
4 albums that are great from top to bottom.
They changed the name after it came out because it was right around 9/11.
Yeah,
Suddenly, it was a self-titled album.
that was a great album.
All right, so you get up the tower, and you motorcycle up to the tippity top, and then you finally get to meet Father Baldur, the Lumen Sage. Chapter 16, the Lumen Sage. The last chapter.
Oh, that's right. It's the Return to Rockview tour, which means that they're playing their album Welcome to Rockview in its entirety.
Oh, cool.
And I couldn't be less excited about that.
I'm sorry.
I don't give a shit.
It's like when I went to go see.
It's an okay
I went to go
album.
I'm
see.
sure that they will still play all of their hits.
I went to go see Amy Mann, and she only played her new stuff. I was like, no! Why would you do this?
No, it's
I went and saw
Strung Out
Coheed
and the
and
Raging Nathans.
Oh, I went and saw Coheed once, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm so psyched!" And it ended up being one of those it was like half acoustic.
I love that.
I was like, "No, that's not why I came to see Coheed in Cambridge and watch the dude play an acoustic guitar."
I think they're good acoustic. I saw them once where they opened for themselves as like they did an acoustic set and then they did a live set, and it was fucking amazing. Legitimately.
Maybe that's what I saw. It was something like
It was
like
like
that.
an MTV tour or something. And we were just talking about Coheed the other day because I remember when you and I went and saw Coheed with Mastodon, and I was so excited to see Mastodon.
yeah.
It was their Crack the Sky tour. They were playing Crack the Sky in its entirety, like their most well-known, critically acclaimed album, and it was just the worst set I'd ever seen. To the
Not a
point that
good
Jim was
set,
like,
yeah.
"Do you want to get out of here?" And but I said no, and we stuck around for Coheed, and they were fucking amazing because Claudio Sanchez is a fucking fantastic frontman, and he knows how to get the audience going and get you excited and into the show.
And they're good musicians too. Like, man, they can put on a show.
Yeah, they're fucking
Good for
incredible.
I guess
them.
before you meet the Lumen Sage, you do have one last boss fight with Jean where she is firing every single missile. Just every missile. Like every dramatic statement she makes is then followed by a missile.
Yeah,
launch.
punctuated by a missile.
And you gotta dodge these missiles, and then you gotta fight her. And you can tell something's up with her because her eyes are weird, and you realize that she's not in control. And then she does seem to get blowed up by a missile, right?
Like, I'll admit that I wasn't paying a ton of attention, but I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the end. It's the end of chapter 15. Or, yeah, 15.
I don't remember this
Chapter
at
16,
all.
the Lumen Sage. You go inside this office, and Cereza's very happy. She's like, "Daddy! It's Daddy!" Oh, did you like that scene where Bayonetta said how special her prized possession was? And then, like, takes one of her ribbons out and then then makes a little holder for her prized possession.
I think that Cereza is a shockingly well animated and executed toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said this last week, it is so rare to see this in games or a lot of different kinds of visual mediums. Like comic books have had a problem with this for a long time. Mm-hmm. Where artists will clearly just not know what a baby looks like and just draw a little man or a little woman, and you're like, what's happening?
I love that. That's one of my favorite comic book things.
Games have had a very similar problem for years. Like they just shorten people. This looks like a toddler. And listen, I love little kids. Like I just really, when they're teeny tiny, I think they're just so cute. Everything they do is so cute and sweet, and they're just so innocent. They're such, I love little kids. Mm-hmm. I am legitimately, my friends make fun of me. I love babies. And I don't know a lot of guys that do. I love babies. I think they're the best. Mm-hmm. I mean, the shitting and the throwing up on you isn't great. But, other than that.
I mean, they're tiny.
I think babies are great. And I think toddlers are the best. That's the best age. So, like, every time Cereza's on screen, for the most part, I like this game. She looks like a toddler. Her face. And, like, the way she just bursts into tears. And this scene that you're talking about is perfect. Because Bayonetta takes her whatever... I don't know what it is that she gives her. Or that she has. It's the same thing that Bayonetta has on her chest,
weird
obviously.
Amulet clock thing.
Yeah. She gives it to her, and she ties a ribbon on it, and she puts it around her neck and says, keep it close to your heart. And then Cereza, like, just kind of dances around, and it was the most accurate portrayal of a toddler I've ever seen in a game. Because that is how toddlers act. Like, you do something very nice for them, and they're the happiest things on earth. I found this all very charming. Mm-hmm. It's the one good thing in this game.
I feel like Luca and Cereza both have that weird texture that some games were putting on faces where they look like Silent Hill characters. Like, they look like Harry Mason from Silent Hill 1. Like, that weird... And, like, what's the name of the guy from Silent Hill 2? They look like that guy. Where it's like their face is not all the way... It doesn't look complete.
Clay, like
I don't know
wet
how else
clay,
to describe it.
Kind of.
Yes, Cereza has that, like, toddler face where they, like... barely, which I get, it's like almost all of the people in this game do because it's like anime, but with Cereza it feels intentional where she like barely has a nose because little kids like that really barely have a nose. They have like a teeny bump of a nose. And like she has pudgy cheeks. Mm-hmm. And she really does look like a toddler in a way that you just never fucking see in this type of media. Mm-hmm.
I thought Luca looked like James Sunderland.
I'm gonna go.
Is it James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2?
Kick my cat into outer space. She's just sitting outside my door, meowing and scratching my door.
Aww. I'm going.
No, not aw. Fuck you, cat.
Sorry, I'm just feeling sad because my cat's real sick. So sick.
I got one for you. Like, you can have this one. She's all yours.
I just want this cat to eat, and I gotta. I think because I've been putting medicine in the food and she associates that with that throw up session she had a few days ago. She won't eat anything now. And I have to like buy completely different kinds of food. I think that's the way I can get that through this because I don't know. She can't not eat forever. It's been a week and a half.
That's true.
Anyway, I don't want to bum you out. So you meet up with this guy, Father Baldur, and he is, of course, the voice that you've been hearing through the whole game. But now you realize he has not been talking to you. He has been talking.
Yeah. Also, this did confirm what I said when Cereza was first introduced. Cereza is Bayonetta.
Yes,
I called it.
Yes, you are correct. She is Bayonetta from the past.
It doesn't explain why she calls Bayonetta Mummy. Jim did offer an explanation, which is that Cereza is stupid.
No, well,
which admittedly she looks like she's supposed to be about 2.5 years old.
My explanation is
they're all really dumb.
That she looks like her mom.
I guess I don't think you ever see her mom. Like that would at least.
I think
you see her in like a flashback or something.
She's all dressed up. You don't see her.
You don't see her
face.
See a figure. You just see her figure wearing that.
Which is weird
mask.
because like that at least would help us understand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that. It just leaves it blank.
Yeah. And he explains. So I was hoping to finish this chapter during my lunch break, and I got halfway through the monologue. It is a very long monologue. Where he's
he does talk for a while. I like how he has a dead peacock draped over his shoulders.
I wasn't sure if the peacock was dead or just hanging out.
You know, I wasn't either, but it never moved, so you have to say it's dead.
I guess you're right. And he's explaining that
I would have loved it if it would have like looked at the camera once or moved at all. Yeah. I would have thought that was hilarious, but instead it's just draped there dead the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He does explain things about wanting to recreate the world and then summon Jubileus, and Jubileus will be under his control. And that
he talks about how there's 3 universes and he wants to unite the universes. Mm-hmm. And he does it by walking by like a little, like, I don't know what's it called, like it's like a
That
star thing.
yeah, the planet model thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Solaria?
and he, like,
No, that's not
walks by it and spins it, and then later on he like looks at it and it stops, and it was very cheesy and stupid.
And then you hear clapping. Luca walks in and does the slow clap. And it's like, I knew that this was all coming to a head. And he's like, oh, yeah, Luca, you're as good an investigative reporter as your dad was when I had him killed.
Oh.
And then he
Suck
brings
on that,
a bunch
Luca.
of angels in. I guess his dad was quartered. Is that what happened?
I don't know.
It looks like the angels are all tugging on one of his arms. Looks very painful. He realizes that Baldur killed his dad, so he now knows. Although I think he knew before, but now he knows how his dad and why his dad died. He's like, yeah, his dad found
Yeah, he talks a lot about like a good investigative journalist is good until they find out what's really going on, and then you got to kill him.
Mm-hmm. So I guess all those journals and notebooks you're reading are his dad's. All those journal entries.
Oh, I didn't put that together.
Because that's why he's doing this exhaustive research. And then you fight your dad. Oh yeah, he says he's you can call me father, and she's like, after what you've done, murdering everybody and everything, I'm not gonna call you dad. You don't deserve it. And then you fight him. And it's pretty great. He has all the witchy powers you've got. And then you take, but it's like one of those Jean fights, except he does drop some satellites on you and shoot lasers at you as well. However, every time you try to do a climax on him, it doesn't work. He defeats the summons one after another that you attack him with. Yeah,
pretty cool.
I like that.
I like this fight a lot. I had a fun time dodging, doing witch time. Yeah, this is good. This was a good one.
I liked I've complained a lot about the designs in this game, and I know that Jim really liked the monster designs, and I thought they were pretty bland, but I did like this boss a lot. He has big peacock feathers. He looks really cool. Like it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So you attack him. Oh, he also merges. I guess during this fight, he grabs Cereza and then like absorbs her into his tummy, and he has like a blue Cereza head sticking out, which is a little weird. It was a weird boss fight. And so yeah, he defeats every one of the summons that you throw at him until finally you get so enraged that you use a new summon, which is like a big witch. Oh, no, is that this? No, sorry, that's at the end. That's
at the end, yeah.
But you do defeat him, and it looks like he's dead. And Jean, first he stuns you with his holy power, and then Jean comes racing up the building in her motorcycle. You do get to play as Jean for a minute, which is fun.
Well, that was pretty cool, although this motorcycle part goes on a little bit too long.
I feel like all the
and has a really annoying jump prompt that I missed a couple of times.
I did miss that jump prompt a couple of times. So you're jumping up and saving her, and that's pretty cool. So Jean saves Bayonetta, but then she does get blown up by a missile. She gets blown up, and Bayonetta's very upset.
This is the 100th somebody dies, we think, scene.
I don't quite remember. I was very sleepy this morning when I finished this game. I know that Jean saves her. Is that after she puts Cereza back to bed? Or not? Yeah, but
I'm not sure.
At some point, Father Baldur, he's defeated. She takes Cereza through a time portal that just happens to be there. Because I guess that's how we got her out in the first place. And Bayonetta puts herself back in her bed, and then tells her in a moment that I thought was genuinely heart. Like, it's a great performance by the voice actress, where she's talking to herself and saying that she's going to be stronger than she knows, and that she can get through all this, and that she's wonderful. And I thought that was such a sweet moment.
Did you mention how...
You get a little misty?
Did you mention how Bayonetta dad puts Cereza in his tummy?
Yeah, it's real weird.
And he's now Bayonetta's mom, I think. So Bayonetta is her own mom for most of the game, but then at this point, the dad is like, "Now I'm your mom," and he puts Cereza in his tummy. And Cereza is, of course, Bayonetta, because at this point, Baldur, her father, has started referring to Bayonetta as Cereza. Mm-hmm. So we know Cereza is baby Bayonetta. Mm-hmm. And he put her in his tummy because he says that baby Bayonetta is where all the power's at, and old Bayonetta don't matter. Mm-hmm. He don't care.
I would like to put this on the record. Bayonetta, cool name for a character. Cool name for a video game. I'm a fan. I like the name Bayonetta. I think it's cool. Mm-hmm. It's a clever name. Mm-hmm. It's creative.
So
why?
Good name for good title for an action game.
Why?
Because a bayonet is like a weapon.
I know what a bayonet
but
is.
As you say Bayonetta, you turn it, you make it into like a name, like a feminine name, but you have a really strong
But that's also what they call a little
character
knife in Italy, I think. Yeah, they didn't make up the word Bayonetta.
Well, I think using it as a character name is cool.
Sure. So you I can't. It must be after this. So after she gets back from the time portal, that's when Baldur is alive again, and he looks like he kills Luca. Looks like he blows up. Then Jean comes to rescue Bayonetta and like grabs her out of the eyeball at some point. Oh no, that's okay. That's the second time. So that's the end of the chapter. It looks like the end of the game until the epilogue is Bayonetta is stuck in the eyeball of Jubilee. That's where Dad puts her. She's frozen and under his control, and he's the right eye. And God is going to remake the universe, and it does look like he blows up the Earth. I got very confused.
I think that's what he wants Jubileus to do.
And then cut to the epilogue, where goes to Jean again. Jean is floating in space, and she gets winked at by her motorcycle, which does make her alive again. And she then pulls...
What?
Yeah, when your motorcycle winks at you, it brings you back to life. Stupid. Duh.
Oh, duh.
So he, I do like at this moment that Jean's like, no one can have her. Bayonetta's not yours. She says that one of these times. Look, she saves Bayonetta twice, and I'm mixing the two up because I was very tired. But that she definitely pulls Bayonetta out of the eyeball, and it's very goopy. And Father Baldur's like, no, don't do that. Then Jubileus will not be under anyone's control. But she does it anyways. And it kills Father Baldur somehow. Magic, I guess, right? God magic. And Jean's like, Bayonetta, you have to wake up. You have to wake up. And then they're like almost kissing when Bayonetta wakes up. And then she's like, you need to fight Jubileus. And then you do. You get to fight God. It just says Dea Jubileus.
Longest boss fight.
It's the last fight of the game. It's going to be
the final boss.
Real final boss of the game. It's a big statue that I guess looks like Bayonetta. I didn't notice that, but she did have those strands of hair, so that makes sense. Because you're fighting the strands a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with
Matt. She also has the arm, the things hanging off the arm.
Yeah.
And she has the beehive haircut and the same body shape as Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm. And so the bit of this fight is that she's trapped you inside a magical sphere. and she does blow up what seems to be the Earth, but maybe I was very tired. And you have different phases. At first, you're just fighting her hair that clicks on the floor. You can panther kick enemies into the boss for extra damage, which is pretty fun. But if there's no boss around, then it hits you for some reason. It's weird. I didn't quite get the trick behind panther kicking. But eventually she starts putting elements on the sphere, like ice and fire and air.
Mm-hmm.
And those, you have to there's one which gets really annoying with the air one, I think, was very annoying. Lots of jumping.
Which one
That's
is
the one
the
where it's
air
just
one?
floating rocks and they're moving and you can jump and miss. And,
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, that was the jump
yeah.
thing I complained about earlier.
But eventually you do kill God. You just kill God and throw her into the sun.
She kills God by summoning a giant version of the God that's bigger than the God, and it's just,
way bigger than the God.
Yeah, punch her spirit out.
Then
she punches her spirit out.
She does punch her spirit out. She makes this giant witch with these skull things. It's really cool. She punches God.
It is cool.
And then you gotta chase God. You punch God into the sun. Sun gets a couple of lips on it. I guess means that you're targeting the sun. That was very stupid. And then you do a little. At least this flying sequence was short. I didn't know that it was interactive, so I was watching, and then you die. I was like, oh.
Oh, okay. So I was steering around the planets, but when I was at the end of it, I was like, if I hit a planet, would that have exploded it? Because I wish I would have done that.
If you hit,
isn't Fly Me to the Moon
die?
playing while this happens? By the way, I think it is.
Yes. Well, and in that
That's
touching
amazing.
scene with Bayonetta, she does sing, because that makes. I was wondering how she knew a song from the 50s in 500 years ago, and this does explain it. She sings it to herself as a lullaby, and that's why it becomes her theme. It's sort of an Ouroboros event where she's inspiring her own memory of loving that song, but that's okay.
Yeah. They call that a paradox.
You're a paradox.
You're a paradox.
Thank you.
You're a pair of dorks.
Oh!
There's the episode title, Paradorks.
So you punch, she gets thrown into the moon, or not in the moon, into the sun, and then Bayonetta.
I just fucking hate Fly Me to the Moon.
I did.
Fucking boomer ass song. I hate it.
I think this game, the lullaby she sing, I don't know, made me like the song now. So there you go. And it looks
okay, boomer. Not a big shocker, is it?
Wow. And I'm Gen X, man, or Zennial, which one of the two. But we're both Zennials, man.
No, you're not.
We're both Zennials.
You're a fucking booner.
I'm a booner. I'm a big old booner.
You're a booner. And I'm a millennial, sir. I'm not a fucking Zulu.
A Zennial is...
Fuck off with that.
Wait, are you born in 81 or 82? Oh, you're born in 82, right?
How about we don't discuss my birthday on this show, you fucking asshole?
January.
Stop doxing me.
You can bleep that out.
I was born in 1980.
No, Matt's...
1979.
I'm born in 79. I can't remember if Matt's born in 81 or 82.
You know what? I actually have no idea how old Matt is.
I feel like
don't worry about it. It doesn't matter.
Vanessa's born in 81,
I'm a 20-something.
and Matt's born in 82, I think.
I only have a rough idea of how old John... Well, John just said he's born in 79, so he's 45.
John's a boomer. I'm a Gen Z.
You'll be 45 this year, though.
And you're a Gen Alpha.
That's true. No, Vanessa's a Gen Alpha.
Vanessa's a toddler.
All right. So, you're about to burn up in the sun, but is this where Jean is? I don't know. So this is the third time Jean saves Bayonetta, right? Or is it I don't. I think this is the third time. Jean.
I think it's third.
She saves her from the sun. Is like, you don't burn up in the sun because we need you here. I need you here in my arms. Okay, she doesn't say that, but it was obvious from the way she was looking at her. That's what she wanted to say. And she brings Bayonetta back to Earth cut to Bayonetta's funeral. Enzo's here, the worst character in the game. He won't shut up again. And Rodin's there, and Jean is performing Bayonetta's last rites. Everyone's feeling very sad. Then some angels start coming down, and Jean's like, Bayonetta, you don't want to miss the party. And Enzo's like, oh, what you talking about here? Forget about it. Oh, she's still alive? What?
He's always... One thing I've noticed about like games of this era, when they're animating somebody talking, they're also moving the body at the same time. Like all the characters when they talk are all moving and like waving their arms around, so it's either that in this game or those weird cutscenes where it's just like still shots of the characters. But everyone's always wiggling around in this game.
And it ends with Bayonetta popping out of that casket. She's just fine. It's just fine. You fight some more angels and live to fight another day. You can't...
Why are there still angels?
Well,
Bayonetta
God 2.
God.
Find out about God 2 and Bayonetta 2. The God of
No, thank you. Pass.
Next time on Square Roots. Again, because we're gonna get Bayonetta 1 and we're gonna play 2 next, right? Let's find out what happens next.
No,
we're never playing 2 on this show. It's not happening.
I don't know. Maybe honestly,
play it yourself.
Never playing.
I
on the
won't.
show.
Not
Matthew, I will not make you play Bayonetta 2 after you do. I didn't.
We will have a revolution. I will guillotine John Brandon.
I thought
I'm not fucking around.
Vanessa would hate this game. I didn't think you would hate this game.
Okay, well, you should have thought harder.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It's the worst piece of shit we've ever played.
All right, so I guess this is a good time for Squarely Against. Matthew, what's your opinion? Are you roundly for or squarely against Bayonetta?
It's the worst piece of shit we've ever played.
I disagree. But it's not my time.
I'm sorry. Is it your time? Always gotta step on my fucking opinion. Like, I can talk. I get my own time. It's the worst piece of shit we've ever played on this show. And anybody that says otherwise is an asshole. I hated it. It had some moments, which is good. Like, it's nice to see that there is some, like, heart here and some artistry, and that's good. But overall, big old piece of shit. Hated every second that I spent playing it. What about you, Jim? How did you like Bayonetta?
I don't know. What's the word for neutral?
Flatly
I don't know.
neutral.
Flatly neutral. This game is fine. I feel like it's a game that I would appreciate more if I made multiple runs of it, which I think is it's kind of designed for you to do. I feel like I would like it better if I did that. That being said, I did one playthrough and thought it was pretty okay. Thought the enemies looked good. I thought a lot of the combat was really fun, but I feel like it kept like interrupting all the good parts of the game with QTEs and unnecessary cutscenes. And I feel like I didn't even really play the game that much in the first 5 chapters, which is kind of a bummer. So, yeah, flatly neutral. John, how do you feel?
I'm roundly for Bayonetta. I thought it was I thought it does have a rough start. I think the falling from space opening is great, but the graveyard scene with Enzo and then the next highway scene make you not want to play the game because he's such an awful, loud, like nails on the chalkboard character, and Bayonetta's just kind of a jerk until she meets Cereza, and that like lightens.
She's like really aloof, like
she's just kind of dommy mommy until she meets Cereza, and then she becomes a more interesting character. And when her relationship with Jean deepens too, when they become friends or more than friends. I thought the combat was great. I really like the design. So the what I learned from the credits is that Yoko Shimamura did the cutscenes. he is a Japanese director of some renown. Like, I think in the 2010s, he made like a big movie. Can you look that up? What he did? Yoko Shimomura? I think that's his name.
No.
I was asking Jim, not.
Yoko Shimomura.
Yeah, direct, because I know.
Oh, Yoko Shimomura.
Ransom? Was that his big? He had some big movie in the 2010s.
Wait, hold on.
Because he also directed the cutscenes to Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes. I just really like his style, I guess, because I know a lot of people hated those Twin Snake cutscenes, but I feel like more.
John, who are you talking about? What is this person's name?
Maybe I got it wrong.
Like, I googled the name you told
a
me, and it was a
pianist.
composer.
Okay, what's his name?
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Talking about Hideka Kamiya?
No, that's the director of the game. Yuji Shimomura. Sorry. I feel like Yoko's the one who did Street Fighter 2's music. Death Trance, The Warrior's Way, Alice in Borderland. Okay, I don't know any of these movies.
Oh, Alice in Borderlands.
Alice in Borderlands. I've heard of that.
It's a show, right? Isn't that on Netflix?
Alice in Borderland. Yeah. It's a drama. Has 2 seasons.
So he does like stunt direction and stuff, and he did the crazy cutscenes for Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes version, and I just really like his stuff. I guess I need to watch his movies. So he does a lot of martial arts cinema and stunt direction. And I really like that. I really liked the level design. I loved the enemy designs. Some of those bosses were. I think my favorite one was was it Prudencia, which is the baby head with the tentacles coming out.
I like that one too.
So
That's
cool.
my favorite too.
I thumbs up. It was surprised. I didn't think the game would ever get touching, but yeah, the stuff with Soreza, especially the ending of Bayonetta, like talking to herself and like talking to herself as a kid. That's just, when you think about going back and talking to yourself as a child, that's pretty rough, and that can be I don't know. That's heartwarming, and I really liked it. Anyway, so yeah, I really like the game. Roundly 4.
Cool. Well, I should say that next time we will be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Mm-hmm. And for this first chunker, because we'll have to, lay out we'll have to do some table setting, some scene setting for the game. So we're only playing through Chapter 1 for this first chunker, which in the context of the game is kind of the end of the Nibelheim flashback.
Mm-hmm. Nibelheim
flashback.
You know what I'm so happy about, Jim? I didn't have to.
It's called Nibelheim because you see Genova's nipples.
I didn't have to read a book or a comic or watch an anime there was no like bridging other piece of media between remake and Rebirth, and so many
That's
games
a good point, actually.
do that, and I hate it.
Yeah, Final Fantasy games do that. Do you want to enjoy Final Fantasy 15? Better watch this pretty shitty movie.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Before we go, tell you all about our great Patreon. It's at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast, and on that Patreon, we have tons of great bonus content that we put out monthly. We've got level up episodes. We've got movie commentaries. We've got Square Roots Versus. We've got some instant classic episodes. You never know what you're going to find. This month, I told the group that we were going to play the new Silent Hill free-to-play game on the PS5, and literally nobody responded to me. So this month is
good luck.
the
It's probably just going to be you alone.
No, I
Well, it look like I have time to play a fucking extra game. How about you stop picking whole extra games for us to play?
It's a 3.
Hey, this month we're going to play Alan Wake 2.
It's a 3-hour game.
This is like a 2.5 hour game. Well, 3 hours at the most.
I'll boot it up this weekend, Jim.
That's time I could spend with my new dog, Koro-chan.
Mm-hmm. Every time...
like I said, you can... Oh, sorry.
Every time Matt says something now that's very surprising, like, oh, I'm taking classes and doing really well, or I got a new dog, I have to ask myself, is he talking about Persona 3 or real life? And it's probably going to be Persona 3.
I have a new girlfriend. She's really cool. She's smart. She's got red hair, red eyes. Her father runs the Makoto group, or whatever the fuck it's called.
On top of all that great content, we also... Oh, hold on. I will say, you can have access to all that great content at the $3 subscription tier. At the $5 subscription tier, you can get all that content plus the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. Another final benefit of being a patron, no matter at what level you subscribe to, we will personally thank some of our patrons on the air every week. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking Tracy, the Daily Gazette, Ron,
Oh,
Brandy,
I forgot to update
respectable
the
name.
Patreons.
That's okay. Cyril the Wolf, Zachary Bullet Ant Harbison, David Pascal, Chris Sasaki, Hat Ben, the Ben with the Hat, Chris Parsons, be sure to hit Y and B when you climax, T Bumpkins, wishes everyone a Happy New Year from Tickle Crab Island Dew, Joshua Rose, Clownface, and Keesby Knight.
I'd like to thank Isaac Wright, Citrusy, Star Drifter, Gigantified Micro Space Hamster, Join the Princess Posse, J-Bone, DP299, Mike Marno, Armin Hammer, Johnny Five Alive, Sol Wagner, Angel, David Green, Andy M., Tom, and Omaha Zookeeper.
I'd like to thank Frost Terror, Stephen Paget, Ben H., Make Gaia Great Again, Wash in the Wind, Jesse's Mom's Pizza, Ian Frederick, Ward, Childress, Mike, Amanda Douglas, A Sentient Picture of a Banana.
All right, everyone, that's it for
Magpie
this episode
Juju,
of Square Roots.
Knopford, Butts on Parade, David Arnold, Cerulean, Sergeant Spaghetti, and Florian Jonas Kramer. And I'd like to thank...
All right, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the show, you can send it to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Blue Sky at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Ghana, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Blue Sky and on YouTube. Links to both are in the show notes. I actually updated the show notes with his Blue Sky, which he hasn't posted on.
I mean, did you ask him if he wants us to reference his Blue Sky versus his Twitter?
I did.
Okay. Good.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Bayonetta Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Left Eye Brandon.
Rainbow yesterday, but too many storms have come and gone, leaving trace of not one God-given ray. Is it 'cause my life is 10 shades of gray? I pray all 10 fade away, seldom praising for the sunny days. And his promise is true, only my faith can undo the many chances I blew to bring my life to a new, clear blue and unconditional skies. I have dried the tears from my eyes, no more lonely cries. My only bleeding hope is for the folk who can't cope with such an enduring pain that it keeps them in the pouring rain. Who's to blame for tooting cane into your own
stop
vein?
mimicking people of color? Like, it's problematic.
Really? Even doing the left eye waterfalls?
Yeah, no, this racist joke is great. And
How
I'm
is
glad that we're gonna
it
have it on the
racist?
show.
I like that. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing a Rachel Slurs?
Dreams
Sad.
are hopeless aspirations and hopes of coming true. Believe in yourself. The rest is up to me and you. Is that better?